Hey, it's Melissa with Sincerely Creative Mom. Today we're going to make a tree topper, one that you can easily stick onto the top of your tree and be super easy and done. You could also, if you're a wreath maker or a maker of any kind and you sell things, home decor, this is a really easy way to sell and ship. So what I have here is a variety of red and white long stem picks that we're going to use. I already created this bow. This is the bow is actually available on our YouTube channel. It's a free video. It's there ready for you to see already. So that was already created there. So you can see that at any time on our YouTube channel, Sincerely Creative Mom. So that is already done. What we're going to work on today is a variety of the textures, colors, and how it's going to all come together. So what I started with was bells, mostly because it has a nice brown center, and I didn't want the bells to get lost in the design. So I left the bells on the top. Then we went straight into some white snowflakes. So we're going to bring out the snowmen and the snowflakes that are in the bow itself. So we have red bells, nice little whimsy here. I'm going into the white snowflakes. I love the white stems that come off of this one, and of course the snowflakes, so we're going to use those. And then this one has the berries. There's white flocked, just, I mean, really little amount of flocked berries there. It is going to give a big pop in the design. Of course, we went for the great big giant red snowflakes, really pretty, all glitter here. And then we're going to go with some spiky, doing a lot of damage here, taking up a lot of real estate with those spikes. Again with the glitter, a nice solid red and white. This is a different texture as well. It's like a furry almost, or yarn kind of type. And then a fern, red glitter fern. And then these spikies, these came from Hobby Lobby. It actually had two on a pick, and I took them apart. So we're going to put all these together, just very kind of, actually very easily. This is going to be way easier than you thought. The one thing I'm going to do first is take these kind of off the side, and I'm going to make our fern in the back, and I'm going to put just one of these to the back, to the very back, so that there isn't anything, so not that there isn't anything back there, but so that there's a texture back there kind of that's going to go around the whole thing. So I'm going to start with that. They're kind of heavy, so I'm going to zip tie a couple of them, and that's just what we're going to start with. So I'm going to start with these 6-inch zip ties, and I'm going to start kind of within the design here. You're not going to see these through, when you're on your tree, you're not going to see these little zip ties, but actually putting them kind of up in the design rather than just down on the stem will help keep it nice and sturdy. So I'm going to add a couple here. This is going to be, we are going to have a few of, I'm going to actually move those to the front. We are going to have a few of these. I don't want it to the back, just because the back is, we want the back to stay clean because the back is going to be visible. But through the center, like, that's going to be fine, but we want those picky parts to stay in the front. Okay, so that's just what we're going to start with in the back, making this a nice big, kind of fan it out a little bit. I think one is going to be enough back there. Let's just add, well, again, this is going to be the back, so let's just add two just for fun. And this will just kind of make it nice and clean. Now, you can, Hobby Lobby and all of your retailers, I buy, in fact, I'll put it in the description of this video. There is a variety of suppliers I buy from online. So many different places, very good quality. You want the long stem for these. Now, you can totally take this whole idea and install them one by one to your tree. That's how I do it on my own personal tree, just because it gives it a nice full look. But when you're talking about, again, when you're talking, like, I install for customers and I sell these online, so when you're talking about doing it that way, it's just easier. It's just easier. to put it all together as one. Okay, so I have that kind of going on, so that's gonna what's gonna look like from the back. So I have just something coming off the back so it's not dead flat. So then on top of this, these are nice kind of yarny. These ones are from the At Home store. I'm just kind of give them some life here, moving them all around. Everything you want to touch and give some life. Just because you buy it flat doesn't mean it has to stay flat, okay? So we're going to take these. It's going to go just right on the top. So from here, I'm not going to try to come taller than this. I want this to stay the tallest part. And so I'm going to start adding these. Now again, I'm going to start with the zip ties to make sure that that spine stays together and it's not going to droop from the back. So your piece will have a lot of zip ties going on here, but I promise you won't see them in the end. And then this tool, I'll link this in the bottom too. It is not necessary. My hands, I have carpal tunnel in my hands, and the strength in my hands is leaving me. So this little tool just tightens that zip tie and cuts it all at the same time. I'm not going to put any more down here because we're going to put a lot of things together, and so I'll put those on all at the end. Okay, so from here, that's bringing out the white, starting to bring some nice color texture to this. Again, I have it kind of sticking out, so it's not going to be super duper flat. Then from here, we're going to add some white. Okay, we're going to add some white from here. And then now you see these pieces kind of, this one's a little bit lower, this one's a little bit higher, this one's at the top. So this one here, a little lower, a little higher at the top. So my lowest part starts over here on the left. I mean, I could flip it if I need to, but it's on the left. So I'm going to make sure that kind of works out that way. So I'm going to start filling in this part over here, and then this part over here, and then straight up the top. So I'm just going to go right on top. Y'all, I am a coach, a creative coach inside a group of a private group with several other folks. We make all sorts of things. So when you're ready to bring your creativity to the next level, we are ready with you. I'm going to just put one of those right in the center. Again, I'm going to be waiting for us to get all of them together to kind of zip tie the whole thing together. I'm going to come in on top with some red, nice big chunky red glitter snowflakes. Again, I don't want them to go taller than the piece on the top. And I'm just going to make sure I kind of wiggle those and make sure they kind of look like they're all mingling in here. Again, I'm trying to bring some dimension to this so that it's not flat. Okay? All right. So we're going to add our, I think we're going to add our berries next. Again, just a couple of pieces, not a lot. This didn't have a lot of, I didn't cut any off, but this one didn't have any, this was it. So I'm going to put in there just nice chunky. Now I'm going to start making these stems down here, kind of not stack one on top of each other because that starts to get a little crazy to work with. And yeah, I'm going to put the next layer of white, those snowflakes. And then our bells are going to go right on top. And then one last layer of the kind of spiky. Y'all, this wasn't necessary. The spikies weren't necessary, but I kind of like the way they look in there. And then we're going to add two along the sides. So I'm kind of just bringing that all together. Now, you see, all I did was add. Now, your budget will depend on how much you add. That's up to you. Or your customer, of course. So then all I'm going to do is take our zip ties and then zip tie all together. Now again, with the zip tie holder, my hands are not quite what they used to be. My grandma used to tell me all the time, my hands don't work, and I was like, I don't understand that. Oops, let's go. Anyway, if you are, we're going to do one last step here. If you are looking for further inspiration from us, I hope that you are on our email list. You can go to don'tmissemails.com. Super easy to remember, don'tmissemails.com. Every time we have a new tutorial available, a new YouTube tutorial, anything new on our classes, our email list definitely gets our first dibs. Now, I'm just going to make sure my teeth here on the tool, you can see there's little teeth, are lining up with the teeth part on the zip tie. If that's not happening, then the tool isn't going to work. It's got to have something to grip onto. Okay, and I did 2 at the top, or 3 at the top, just to be super sturdy. And then I probably should have done this at the beginning. I am going to kind of cut these. As far as shipping goes, I don't want to have a super long box. Number one. Number two, this doesn't need to go, this isn't the very top of your tree, okay? Like the top of your tree is going to end up kind of up here. So you're going to feed this down the trunk of your tree. So this part doesn't have to be long as far as, right here. Now this one is super strong, so I'm going to get a bigger cutter. Hold on. Again, I do this for a living, so it's not something this isn't something that you need. And what's weird is, oh, it did cut it. What's weird is sometimes this will cut the, just going to zip tie this in so it doesn't come off. It'll cut the wire, it won't cut the fabric, whatever fabric is going on. But this one did cut. Okay. Now, the last thing I do, now this is completely up to you, well, not the last thing, but this is completely up to you. Again, I sell these as I sell them as a completed project. So I'm shipping this off to my customer for them to do the install. And so I kind of just want to make it look just a little bit more professional. Look at how pretty that is. Super pretty. I totally love it. But I want to make it look just a little bit more professional and a little easier to hold onto, because these little guys are definitely gonna hurt if you grab onto them. I'm gonna add one more stem down here at the bottom. So sliding this through the top of your tree can sometimes, these will catch on the branches going on the way down. It kind of frustrates me all the time. So if you have zip ties that holds those all together, that'll help. And then all I do at the very end is I just wrap. Now you can wrap it in anything. You don't, if it's for yourself, you don't even have to wrap it in anything, but just so that it looks a little bit more professional, I'm going to wrap it in this tinsel garland. I get it at Hobby Lobby. I usually get it at the end of the season because nobody wants it. So I'm just going to start it from the back and tie it around there. I'm just going to wrap it around. So this part does get a little bit kind of, boring, I guess you could say. But it is necessary for me to have what I think is a finished product. And I'm not, doing it around the entire thing. Like I'm not going back to back to back so that you can't see any of the stems. I'm just trying to wrap it and kind of mask it, camouflage it a little, just enough. You make so many of these and sell so many of these, you try to look for shortcuts as you go along. I'm going to work my way back up so that tie, the end, is kind of at the top. Now again, this part is not necessary. I have a flocked tree. You'll see I'm wrapping this with just regular green garland. The bow is going to go right in front here. Oopsie. The bow is going to go right in front here. So I'm not concerned about, you know, seeing the green on my flocked tree, because it will definitely help mask it for sure. Okay, I'm going to cut off the rest here. And then just kind of slide this in. Just like that. Okay? So then I have a full piece, right? And the last thing I'm going to do is add my bow. So I'm not going to add my bow down here because I want this to slide into my tree, okay? So I'm going to add my bow right here. So it kind of comes up, you know, you can do whatever you want for yours, but this is going to just kind of cover that a little bit. So, so pretty. So, so pretty. And then I'm actually going to leave this just like this, because what I want you to do, when I tell my customers to do, when you slide this down in your tree, I want you to attach this to the trunk of the tree. This is kind of heavy on the top, right? This is not light, it's kind of heavy. So I want this to attach to the trunk of the tree to help keep that stability. So what I do is I add a couple of extra pieces. These are also from, now these are just the sticks, these are just the ties rather than the garland piece. So I just add a couple of these to the back. Now your customer can use them, they don't have to. I'm just going to squish that bow for a second. Actually, you know what we should do? We should add two. I think that's what I did before. Because if they're, you know, you want it to be easy for them to, do. There we go. And then the ties will just kind of stay in, you know, it'll wrap around the trunk of the tree, and then it'll help keep the stability. That one's kind of bigger, I think. Yeah, that one's plenty big. Okay, there you go. Now I know this is a lot of information. I hope that you're following us. I hope that you're on our email list so that you can get any special tutorials that we send out that are just for our email friends, which is this video for sure. So if you're on our email list, that is why you're able to see this. Don't forget, the bow itself is already on our YouTube, so you can go check that out. You know, just a nice big bow, nice big loops. Your tree topper, you know, it could be any size. I usually start with, I think these were 7 or 8 inch loops on the bottom, I can't remember. But you know, as many loops as you can. Again, with my carpal tunnel, sometimes that keeps my ability to add loops to a minimum, but this is perfect. I hope you enjoyed. I cannot wait to see yours. Again, we do sell these if you're interested, or I'd love to see your creations. If you've created yourself, please make sure you text us a picture. I'd love to see it. Our phone number is 810-498-2310. SincerelyCreativeMom.com will house everything you need from me. If you're looking for really quick links, you can go to melslinks.com. Let me see here. There we go. melslinks.com will have a list of things I offer, a tree decorating class, garland classes. If you are a maker, there's a class on pricing your items. There's a class on how to be a boutique vendor, to get yourself into a boutique and sell things. There is the link to the creative coaching group where I am a coach, where we are in a more intimate setting and a group community setting, but smaller than hundreds of thousands of people. And we have the opportunity to share ideas, grow together as a community. It's a wonderful place to be if you're looking to improve your skill. We are live 6 days a week in that private group. It's an amazing experience, lots of different talent in there. I think there's 7 of us. I can't remember, I lost count, honestly. There's a lot of different folks in there. Anyway, you can find everything at melslinks.com, LINKS. You can always text me if you I need any help. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, where a lot of these sorts of one-on-one kind of, I feel like it's one-on-one tutorials are listed. And anyway, Melissa with Sincerely Creative Mom, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye, y'all.